Good evening, students. Today in this video lecture we are going to see how to implement network address translation, static network address translation in Cisco routers. By the way, the NAT could be static, dynamic, also port address translation method. These are the three options to do NATing. However, when we say NAT, the basic idea is to translate the IP address of a computer from a local network, or translating the IP addresses of the set of computers from a local area network to another IP address, which will enable the hiding of the IP address of the individual machines, so that we can protect the machines from different network attacks. As the address is being hidden, since the outside attacker will not be able to know the IP address of the machines inside the protected network area. Here in this diagram, in this topology, you see many devices connected to each other. The IP addresses shown here are assigned to the devices. As we understand that assigning these IP addresses is not the aim of this tutorial, so I am not going to tell you how to assign these IP addresses to the different interfaces of these devices. It is expected that you are not a beginner. You have some idea about how to configure the IP addresses to different interfaces of the devices and how to connect them together. So the yellow color denotes the inside network, and the light blue color indicates that this total network is considered as an outside network. So now I have a network 192.168.30.0 or to be very specific, I am trying to hide the IP address of 192.168.30.10. Probably it could be a mail server, web server, or it could be any important server. So I want to hide the IP address of this machine to the outside network. So this is what I am trying to achieve in this tutorial. So before doing this, we may have to configure these routers with IP routing. Okay, so let us configure that with the default routing. Let me do it. Let us go to the router. So I am going to do the default routing. IP route 0.0.0.0 and the gateway for this router will be 192.168.40.10. Okay, so let us go and configure the second router. And the gateway will be 192.168.40.1. So we have to configure the IP routing between the routers. So let us just try to ping and confirm whether the devices are able to communicate with each other. ping. I am pinging from 30.10 to 50.10. Ping 192.168.50.10. So just to confirm, there is a reply. So this machine is able to communicate with 50.10. Let us try this with from 50.10. Ping 192.168.30.10. So they are able to communicate. So now the next step is, let us configure the static NAT. The static NAT is between one device to another device, one to one. Okay, so now let us try to do the static NAT. Let us go to the router, go to the interface, gigabit 0.0, gigabit 0/0. Then I have to configure IP NAT inside. Yeah, because gigabit 0/0 is configured for IP NATing as inside network. Next, let us do the second interface 0/1. Then this is going to be outside gigabit 0/1. This interface will be the outside network. So that's it. Now we will do the NATing, specifying the source which need to be NATed. So that is IP NAT, inside IP NAT inside source. You have to specify static, dynamic, PAT, whatever. Yeah, we'll say static. Which one we need to NAT? 192.168.30.10, the machine address, and into what IP address? We can say whatever we like. So let us say 100.100.100.100. So this IP address 192.168.30.10 will be camouflaged into 100.100.100.100. So this is done. Now our NATing is complete. We need to check whether this NATing is working or not. So for that we have to use a command, debug IP NAT, Now when I say, you see the IP NAT debugging is on. This is the message we get from the router. Now let us go and ping from the machine so that we will see what happens. I am going to ping now 192.168.50.10. Now we are getting the reply here. Now let us go to the router and check what is happening there. So see here, the source is 192.168.30.10. that is this source. Then, and that IP ICMP packet, when it is going out, it is taking the IP address 100.100.100.100 in the IP header. and it goes to the destination 192.168.50.10. That is this web server machine. Now this web server machine is replying to 192.168.30.10. Just see what happens here. Now the source is the reply 192.168.50.10, and now the destination for this machine, it is 100.100.100.100. Have you seen? It is 100.100.100. Then if you see here, the packet with the destination IP address in the header 100.100.100.100 is delivered to 30.10 inside the network by the router. So we are hiding the IP address 192.168.30.10. Now we see here about the set of replies. For every reply coming from the host, there will be two entries here, because every reply is a source to destination and a destination to host. So this way we have checked the static NAT and it is working. So I am going to stop this tutorial, and we are going to come up with next tutorial how to configure dynamic NAT and also how to configure PAT, that is port address translation, in our next videos. Thank you very much.